Yes, people, a very happy to all of you. So, guys, we are doing this chapter called as Basic Accounting Terms. Thank God you know the name at least. Wonderful. Last class, what did we do? So, we tried to understand what is the meaning of liabilities. Under liabilities, what all classifications do we have? Right? Okay. What are the two primary motto of preparing the accounts or doing the accounts? Two primary reasons for doing accounts. One is to know the profit and loss. To be said in more polished manner, to ascertain the financial performance of the business. If I want to ascertain, means know the financial performance of the business, I'll do accounting. Second is to know the financial position. Wonderful. Financial performance of the business is ascertained by preparing a document called as trading and profit and loss account. Trading and profit and loss account. Correct? Trading and profit and loss account. What do you record in trading and profit and loss account? So all the items which has got the flavor of income, gain, expenses, losses, all that we record in the trading and P&L account. So all the income gain put together, from that if I minus expense and losses, I get profit or loss. If income is more than expense, loss, sir. Then income is more than expense. Income is more than expense. Loss. What is it? Profit. Expense is more than income. Loss. Wonderful. Second, why is this lagging? 1 second. Online people, by any chance, is my video lagging?
No, sir.
Video or voice by any chance?
No, sir.
No, sir.
To ascertain the financial position, I prepare one document called as balance sheet. Balance sheet. In the balance sheet, you capture information of liabilities and assets. You break this balance sheet into two parts. Left hand side of the balance sheet is called as liabilities. Right hand side of the balance sheet is called as asset. It's a T-shaped format of the document. The document is in the T-shaped format. Can you see it is T-shaped? Left hand side is called as liabilities. Right hand side is called as assets. Last class we discussed what is the left hand side of the balance sheet, liabilities. Under that, what do we have we discussed? In today's class, I'm going to discuss asset side. Correct? I told you balance sheet is nothing but replacement of something. What is it? Balance sheet is replacement of something. That is report card. I agree. I told you last class, balance sheet is replacement of something. Replacement of something. I gave reasons also. Ah, wonderful. She got it. It's a replacement of our memory. In business, we have to pay money to a lot of people. I have to pay money, let's suppose 1,000 people. Remembering the names of 1,000 people is challenge. By chance, you are intelligent fellow. God has blessed you to remember the names. But the difficulty is what? Each person have to pay different amount. 1,000 people, 1,000 names, and 1,000 different amount. Now will you remember? Very difficult. So what do? We don't trust our brain. We know that we'll forget it. So what do? Whatever information that we have to store in the brain, we record in a place called as balance sheet. So any money or anything that I have to pay to someone in future, is called as liabilities. Similarly, I also need to remember to collect money from people, no boss. Like in business, I have to pay money for thousands of people. Like that, I might have to receive money from thousands of people. From whom I should receive money? Tell me first. Debitor name. Debtor. Be silent, Debtors. Debtor. Debtor is a person to whom I've sold the goods on credit. Debtor is my customer. My customer, I've sold the goods on credit to that fellow. So I have to receive money from him. Yes or no? Like that in business, how many people will be there? How many customers will be there to whom I would have sold the goods on credit? 1,000 in numbers, boss. Thousands of people I would have sold goods on credit. Can I remember? Not possible. Forget that. From whom else I should receive money? I might have opened a bank account in 10 banks. Can you stop me from opening accounts in multiple banks? Is there any rule that you should not open the bank account in more than one bank? No. Some business people have the bank account in 10 different banks. In 10 banks, I have 10 accounts. In each account, I have some account 10 lakh, some 20 lakh, some 40 lakh, some 1 crore, some 2 crore. In which bank what amount is there? How will I remember, boss? So I can't remember. So therefore, I record in a place called as balance sheet. Which side? Asset. Asset is what? Anything that I receive in future is asset. What is liability? Anything that I have to pay in future is liability. Anything that I receive in future is asset. So can I say asset and liabilities are opposite to each other? They're always opposite to each other. Like how income opposite is expense. Expense opposite is income. Liability opposite is asset. Asset opposite is liabilities. Will you forget this point? What is asset? Anything that the business has to receive from someone in future. Anything I said. I didn't say money only. Anything I receive in future. Anything is the word. Means I can receive money in future. I can receive something else also in future. Things. So anything that I receive in future is asset. That is just one meaning of asset. Asset has got one more meaning to it. Anything that I need to receive, anything that needs to be received by the business enterprise in the future is called as asset. This is just one of the meaning of asset. Asset has got one more meaning. So liability has got one meaning. Asset has got two meaning. What is one more meaning of asset? Any physical thing or right or property owned by the business which has got monetary value, that is also asset. So asset is basically power. Human being get power from where? Not food. Power comes from money, more power. The more money you have, the more powerful you are. The more money you have, the more powerful you have. The more property you have, more confidence you feel. A person with no property on this planet, always going, shifting here and there between rental houses, rental offices. 1 year, this owner will kick out, will go to another place. Next year, some other owner will kick out, keep on completely jumping. You feel very not powerful. You don't feel powerful. You feel very weak. Only when you're weak, people are like badminton, like that TT ball, tongue, break you. But when you have your own property, power. One property, one power. 10 properties you have, you feel more confident. When you have 20 properties, you feel more confident. Oh, I have got so much of property. So anything that I receive in future, I will receive 10 crores in future. More power. We feel very good. I have 50 properties in hand. We feel very strong. So asset, what feeling does it give? It makes you more powerful. It gives you very good feeling. So asset always good feeling. Liability, bad feeling. I have to pay to somebody. I have to pay. All of you see your face. Liability means what? To pay somebody in future. We don't like to pay. We will like to receive. So liability is got chi feeling. Asset is got aha feeling. Any problem? So what is asset? Anything that I receive in future. Anything that I have to receive in future is asset. Or anything that I own in the business is asset. Anything that I own in the business is asset. Land, asset or liability? Land, you own it, asset or liability? Asset. You feel powerful. Building, asset. Plant and machinery. Plant and machinery means what? I want to manufacture, let's say this pen. I need a machine, no boss. One machine is not sufficient. I need multiple of series of multiple machinery. I need multiple machinery. All that multiple machineries put together is called as plant and machinery. Let's suppose I'm into business of, let's say I buy tea powder, tea powder, bulk, 50 kg bag, multiple bag I purchase. What do? First, I'll empty that in one machine. All of you know tea is being blended. Means you get multiple varieties of tea and you blend to get a good flavor. They say blending of tea. So first, what do? I pour that huge tea bag, multiple tea bag in one drum, which will do mixing work. Once the blending is done, you get a nice flavor to it. What do? You send that tea from that machine to a next machine where we will try to repack it in a small packet of half kg packet. So in the next machine, what does it do? We do repacking. We do packing. 50 kg tea bag. Now half kg each bag I'm making. So from blending machine, I'm transferring to packing machine. Once it is packed, that is you have poured that tea into that pouch, you have to next seal it. So you'll next move it to sealing machine. From sealing machine, it goes to the carton boxes. Automatically in the carton boxes, the tea bags will be arranged and automatically there will be one more machine which will put the tape on it. Have you seen that in Instagram reels or any YouTube videos you take? There'll be series of automated things happening in the factory. In the factory, there'll be automated things happening. Another classic example is if you go and visit BMW unit, they're not manufacturing, they're assembling, which means what? They have something called as assembly line. They've got something called assembly line. In one assembly line, it'll be a huge assembly line like snake. In one assembly line, they'll put the skeleton of the car. That is called as chassis. You have come across the number chassis number. Every vehicle has got an individual chassis number. You can Google and see. That is called a skeleton of the car. In one assembly line, they'll put that skeleton of the car. In the next assembly line, what they'll do is they'll do attachment of the door. In one assembly line, next, they'll put the seat in it. Then in next assembly line, engine will come. Next, they'll put tire. Then they'll put seat inside, etc., etc. Then finally, the car will get into a proper shape. So you did not manufacture the car. You assembled. So all the parts were ready-made. Door was ready-made. Seat was ready-made. The body was available. Engine was available. What did you do? You assembled. You fitted all the individual parts into one big component called as car. So there is a series of machinery that has been using in this process of manufacturing or assembling the car. This entire series of machineries which is attached to one another is called as plant and machinery. So plant and machinery is a huge setup where multiple machineries are connected to one another for doing the manufacturing or assembly process. That is called as plant and machinery. So if I have plant and machinery, if I invested 50 lakh in plant and machinery, asset or liability? Asset, because I own that. In that machinery, except me, nobody else can operate. So plant and machinery is my asset. Any problem? Land asset, building asset, plant machinery, furniture, the chair what you're sitting, furniture, I own it. I own it. So power, asset. Cash, you own it. Whatever money you have in your pocket, you own it. It's not anybody else's money. It's your money. The money that you have in your bank, you own it. Whenever you ask, banker is supposed to pay that money back to you. It is your money in the bank. So whenever you ask, the banker is supposed to pay that money back to you. So bank balance is your asset, power. Stock in your godown. You have 10 lakh worth of stock, which you own it. Whenever you want, you can sell and make money out of it. So stock is your asset. Debtor. Debtor is your customer to whom you have sold the goods on credit. So he has to pay money, no? So from him, you have to receive money, no? So anything that I'll receive in future is asset. So debtor is my asset. Investment. I have surplus money in hand. I have surplus money and I don't know what to do. I put that money in the stock market. Stock market. I purchase shares. In future, whenever I sell it, I'll get my money back, no? So anything that I get in future is asset. So investment is my money. I've invested somewhere else. Whenever I want, I can get that money back. Investment is my asset. Software, we own it. Software, we own it. Asset. All these are called assets because they belong to business. And all of these assets, directly or indirectly, is helping you to run the business and earn profits. Oh my God. So far you said power, power, power. What are you doing with this power, boss? What are you doing? You are going to use this in the business for running your business, earning profits. Some assets will directly help you to earn profits. Some will indirectly help you. Some will directly help you. Some will indirectly help you. In my business, which asset is directly helping me to earn the income? This laptop. No laptop, no class. No class, no students. Directly. The chair what you're sitting. Directly. Projector. Directly. AC. Indirect. If AC is not there, still people will come. If AC is not there, still people will come. So AC is there means comfortable. More people will come. But AC is not there means it's not like people will not come. Still people will come. So AC is what? Indirectly helping me to run my business. Laptop, it is not there. I can't take online class. I can take only offline class. So laptop is directly helping me to get online students. So there are some assets which will directly help you to get the business. Some assets, Sherry, indirectly help you. Any problem here? No problem. So what is asset? Sir, asset has got two meaning. Liability has got only one meaning. Asset has got two meaning. What is liability? Anything that I have to pay to someone in future is liability. What is asset? Anything that I have to receive from someone in future is asset. Plus, anything that we own or have control over using in the process of business, that is called as asset. Asset can be classified into three categories: non-current asset, current asset, and fictitious asset. This will be discussed extensively in the 12th standard. We have what is non-current asset, current asset, fictitious asset in your syllabus. Not in 11th, but in 12th. Assets are the resources of an enterprise used by the business in its operation. Correct? Any problem? I'm using the assets in the course of running my business. It is helping me in my business operation. It is helping me in my business operation. Assets have useful life more than 1 year. Which assets I'm talking about? Land, building, plant, machinery, furniture. I can use this for more than 1 year. More than 1 year. So we are talking about this asset that you own in the business. The asset that you own in the business. Land, you own it. Building, you own it. Plant, machinery, furniture, laptop, projector, AC, all of that you own it. So these will be used in the business by the business for more than 1 year. More than 1 year. Any problem here? Sir, can you tell me more about fixed assets? Yes. Fixed. Okay. Sorry. Before that, can you tell me more about assets? Assets are further bifurcated into multiple categories called as fixed assets. Fixed assets means they are permanent. Land fixed. Can you take like this and go? Go. Unless you are Lord Hanuman. You can't take land and go. No, sir. Building will take and go, sir. Building like this will take and go. Go, take and go. You can't take it. Plant and machinery. They're all drilled to the earth. You can't remove that easily. Furniture movable, but still we consider this as fixed asset. Fixed asset means what? Fixed means don't take literally. It is fixed permanently. No. Fixed means what? Fixed means what? No. Fixed asset means these are those assets which are being used in the business for a longer period. For a longer period, which you can touch. You can touch, you can see, you can feel. That is called as fixed assets. Under fixed assets, we have something called as tangible assets, and we have something called as intangible assets. So fixed asset means what? Land, building, plant, machinery is asset, fixed. Software also is fixed, permanent. Fixed means, another example, permanent. It is with you for a longer period, more than 1 year. Software also, I created one software. Let's say I'm a Tally company. Tally software, who created? Tally company. So I'll be using this for more than 1 year. So that is called as fixed assets. Fixed asset means what? This asset is permanent in my business. Fixed means what? I'll be using this permanently in my business. Permanent means what? It has got more than 1 year ka life. More than 1 year ka life. So now in that fixed asset, there are two bifurcations. One is tangible, second is intangible. Tangible means what? That part of the fixed asset. It is that part of the fixed asset which I can touch. Land I can touch. Building I can touch. Furniture I can touch. Computer I can touch, laptop I can touch, projector I can touch, AC I can touch, all that I can touch, all the permanent assets which I can touch is tangible assets. Those permanent assets which I can't touch is called as intangible assets. For example, you tell the Tally company, goodwill, very big example now. You tell the Tally company to touch the software engine. Where is your software? Where? Tally ka name is their logo only in the software. You can touch only logo. You can't touch the software. I'm using what software? Zoom software for recording, no? Can you touch the Zoom software? Can Zoom company touch the Zoom software? No. Zoom company. Now this software, Zoom software. For me, it is intangible asset or for Zoom company? Not for me. This is not my software, boss. I have the right to use. It's not, I don't own it. What is asset? Anything that you own in the business or have control over it is called as asset. I have only the right to use the Zoom software. If I don't pay next month's subscription, I can't use it. So Zoom ka software, it is not in my book. It is in Zoom company's book. Tally software, I use it. I don't own it. If I don't pay 1 year ka subscription, I can't use it. So Tally software, who's recording in their book? Who's recording? Tally company. So for them, can they touch the software? Not possible. So that is called as intangible asset. Intangible asset. Any problem? Now tell me, any problem? Online people, any problem?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No.
Fixed assets are those assets which are either owned, you either own it or control it, or both by the enterprise. What is meaning of control? You'll not understand now. It is too early to explain. Own it is easy. Land I own. Building I own. This furniture I own. Easy to understand. The meaning of control is very early to explain. By the business enterprise, which are not held for resale. I did not buy this furniture that one day I will sell this. When I purchase this furniture, what is sitting? What is my intention when I purchased it? I want to use it for my students, for my business. Hence it is asset. So asset means what? Anything that you buy in the business, use in the business. It is not for sale. It is not for sale. Assets are never purchased with intention to sell. They are purchased with intention to use. And usage means not just for 1 year. I want to use it for more than 1 year. More than 1 year. And this asset will help me to increase my revenue earning capacity of the business. How many conditions? Sir, first condition, we have to either own it or have control over it. Not right to use. Right to use is different. Right to use is not asset. Right to use is your expenditure. I'll tell you what it is. I have to either own it or control it. Own it and control it. Second condition. It is not for sale, but for usage. So I own it for what purpose? For using in my business. For how many years? More than 1 year. More than 1 year. Do you understand the symbol? More than equal to, less than. In mathematics, all till 10 max properly studied, no? Okay, then okay. More than 1 year. Next condition. This should be used in the business for earning. Yes. I'm using this asset, not chumma for time pass. It should help me to increase my revenue, either directly or indirectly. Either directly or indirectly. If all these conditions satisfy, you call this as fixed assets. Fixed assets. Any problem? I have a lot to discuss about fixed asset, but I'll be discussing in one topic called as depreciation. You'll be coming across one chapter called as depreciation. Killer chapter. Means what? Lovely chapter. Very important, not just from 11th point of view, 12th point of view also. Without depreciation, you forget 11th. 12th cash flow, you can't do it. Current 12th batch, 13 people or 14 people. In the month of Jan, Feb, March, April, May so far, they have opted for 11th ka recorded class, which means in 12th they're sitting and studying 11th. In 12th they're sitting and studying 11th. Yesterday 3 people subscribed. Why? Because yesterday I did one question on provision for doubtful debt, bad debt, which is again a topic of adjustment of final accounts. People knew nothing about it. People didn't study 11th properly, no? Because 11th is too much time pass. So now what they're doing? The same topic we have in 12th standard, where in partnership topic. There, is it possible for me to sit and explain the entire concept of 11th? Bad debts, provision for doubtful debts, provision for discount. In 11th, we take 5 classes to discuss. Can I take those 5 classes again in 12th? The book size is triple the time of your 11th standard. Or rather, you say double the time. Whatever your book is this much now, no? In 11th. In 12th, all the 3 books put together is so much. Double the book size, but same time to complete the syllabus. Rather little bit less. Year 11th, we are starting when? June and completing by Jan. There we start by March mid and complete by November end. So pretty much same time, but double the size of book. So 12th is very loaded. In that, is it possible for me to sit and teach 11th? I can teach it, no doubt. As a teacher, I can teach whenever I want to teach. But do we have the time, bandwidth to teach? So those who think that 11th, I'll chill nicely. 12th, anyways, I have to suffer. No, that time I'll take care of it. The CBSE board will rip you apart. Had you been a state board student, no problem. You chill 11th, 12th. I will guarantee 100 to you. Or if not, at least 98. 98, 99, 100 is guaranteed. You don't come to me. I'll just tell you what needs to be done. CBSE. I dare you get 19 above. Because it is concept-based examination. Till the last minute you enter the exam hall, you don't know from where the question will come. How the question will come, you have no idea. You wrote 10th board exam, no? Same thing, mathematics. You knew what a question will come to you in the board exam. No. Same will happen in 12th. So we don't take 11th seriously. We don't take 11th seriously. 12th will make you more serious there. ICU case only there, Sira. So I'll be discussing this topic more in depreciation. Actually, you should be asking me a lot of questions here. But since you are a beginner, you're not able to ask that much question. I am getting a lot of questions. I want to answer, but I'm resisting myself. No, I'll teach properly in depreciation. Now, we are just trying to understand the basic terms so that we can start with the proper accounting. Fixed assets are further classified into tangible asset and intangible asset. Tangible assets are those assets which have physical existence, which can be seen and touched. Land, building, plant, machinery, furniture, computer, laptop, everything can touch it. Whereas intangible assets are those assets which do not have physical existence. They don't exist physically. They are there, but physically you can't touch. They cannot be seen and touched. Software, patent, trademark, goodwill. In that, I give example of only software. I didn't tell patent, trademark, goodwill because I meant to explain the meaning. This is too early to explain. Okay, now he's asking, sir, what about stock? My question to you. What is stock? Which means you are saying that you can't see and touch. I said stock. Stock means
Good.
talk about closing inventory in the business. Which stock you're talking about? Shares is investment. Share is investment. Investment. Now, your asset is bifurcated into two categories. One is fixed assets. One is others. In fixed asset, you are further called as tangible asset and intangible asset. Then what do you record in others? In others, you record investment, cash in hand, bank balance, inventory, stock, everything will come in others. Now listen to me very carefully. Since you asked, I'm telling you. Balance sheet. Left hand side is called as liabilities. Right hand side,
Assets.
under asset, the first classification is fixed asset. Under that, you have tangible asset. Under that, you have land, building, plant and machinery, furniture, fixtures, etc. I'll be understand the classification. Fixed asset is the main heading. Under that, the subheading is what? Fixed asset. Under that, we have something called as tangible asset. Under that, we have something called as land, building, plant, machinery. If A is tangible asset, B is what? Intangible assets. Intangible assets. Under that, what do we have? Software, goodwill, patent, trademark, all that is coming. Are you able to see the hierarchy? Okay,
Yes.
so fixed asset has got only tangible asset and intangible asset. Number two means if number one is fixed asset, number two is others. Under that, you have A, stock. Stock means what? Closing inventory. 10 mobile phone I purchased, 6 I sold. How much is remaining? 4. That is called as stock. That 4 ka value I'll record here. Example, 10,000 is value means 40,000. 40,000. B, you said investment. No, sir, I invested in the stock market. I invested 50,000 rupees in stock market. I'll record this under other category. So investment is coming under others. C, cash in hand. The money that I have in my pocket in hand, in my dappa, galapati. What is galapati? Cash box in the shop. That is called as cash in hand. Cash in hand. Then we have D, cash at bank. So all this comes under other category. Others keep on going. Fixed asset is very limited. It is only tangible and intangible. Now this format will undergo a significant change. Where you know, when you do in 12th standard, the topic called as company accounts. Company accounts, they don't accept this format. This format is for what you know. If you are a business who is a sole proprietor, you will follow this kind of format. If you are a partnership concern, if you are having an entity by name partnership concern, you will prepare this balance sheet. Again, you have a freedom to modulate the format the way you want to modulate the format. I'll be discussing all that in upcoming sessions. But when you come into company accounting, when you prepare the accounts for companies, you can't use the word others, fixed assets like that. All this will be reclassified into something called as current asset, non-current asset. Before I said no. Before I said asset is into non-current asset, current asset, fictitious asset. This is the classification as per companies. This classification, what I said now, is as per your or for the business. Which business? Sole proprietorship business, partnership business, etc. Okay, not okay. Current, non-current, why I didn't explain? Because this I'll be discussing in depth where? In 12th. In 11th, I'm discussing only what is applicable. Any problem? So now, what did we discuss first, people? First, we try to understand what is meaning of asset. Asset means what? Anything that I have to receive from someone in future is asset. Or anything that I own in the business is asset. These two are assets. Any problem? So asset is the bigger classification. What is meaning of asset? This I'm talking about. Under asset, we have something called as fixed assets. Fixed asset means what? It's a permanent asset in your business, which I'm using in the business for the purpose of earning more in business. And I'm using this asset not just for 1 year, for more than 1 year. So what is fixed asset? Fixed asset is something you have to own it or have control over. Second, you can't sell it. It is for the purpose of using in the business. It's not for sale purpose. It is for usage purpose. Third, I should be using for more than 1 year. Fourth, I should be using this in the business for the development of the business, for increasing my earning. For increasing my earning, I'll be able to use that either directly or indirectly. So that is called as fixed assets. Fixed asset is further bifurcated into two. One is tangible asset, second is intangible asset. All of you open your mouth and respond. Fixed asset further bifurcated into tangible asset and intangible asset. Tangible asset means what? That is something which you can touch and see and touch. Intangible is something which you can't see and can't touch. Any problem? Online people, any problem?
No, sir.
No, sir.
What is this looking like? Building. Beneath that, land and building. This is how it looks like. Sir, as if we don't know. What is this?
Furniture, chair.
Online person got it. That's a chair. It's a furniture.
Chair.
What is this?
AC.
AC is office equipment. This computer, but classified under office equipment.
Yes.
Then we have all these are furnitures. Office equipments. Okay. Furnitures, office equipments. What is this? Duddu.
Cash.
Paisa. Cash. Money.
Cash.
This. Stock. This is employee. Employee is trying to organize all the unsold stock. All these boxes are which I sell. Boxes I don't sell. In the box, there are items which I sell. So that box is unsold in the business. This is in my godown or warehouse where I stack the goods which is unsold. So this is called as stock. This is called as inventory. Now the question what is asking is warehouse an asset? If you've taken the warehouse on rent, then warehouse is not asset. If you have purchased the warehouse, you own it, asset. This I understand. What is this?
Investments.
Plant, man. Tell plant.
Land.
Leaf, 2 leaf coming. So many. 2 leaf, man.
Money plant.
तो plant बोलेंगे ना तो बोलो plant है money plant is like oh money plant. This is called as investment. You invested so much money. Investment grew up to this much, this much, this much. What is investment? You work hard to earn money. That money what you earn, you make that also work hard to make more money. That is investment. Investment is what? Money on money. I do business, I get money. This money is a result of my hard work. This money, I don't keep at home. I invest it in bank, fixed deposit. I get interest. Interest means what? If I put 1 lakh rupees in bank, bank gives me 10% interest. So how much money is giving extra? 10,000. I gave to bank 1 lakh rupees. At the end of 1 year, banker will give me how much rupees? 1 lakh and 10,000 rupees. So money earned more money for me. So I invested so much money. This money earned so much. This much money earned so much. This much money earned so much. So what is investment? Earning money on money is called as investment. Earning money on money is called as investment. You see, sir's creativity. First claps. Very good.
Business owns a land for around a decade, and then if it sells it, what would be the?
You're telling there's a land that a business owns it. Then you sell it. Now, the question that you have to ask is, sir, when I'm buying a land, for what purpose I'm buying a land? If I'm buying the land with the intention to use it, then later I'm selling it. So that land is my fixed asset. That land is my fixed asset. That is investment only, but you will not classify that as investment. You would have heard this very frequently. At home, they are told, we have excess money. We don't know what to do. We invested in land. When you say invested in land, don't take land as investment. You will take land as your asset. Now, I'll tell you, when land should be taken as investment. I'm coming. Land can be used by 3 different people. If land I'm using for business, for example, land I'm using, I bought the land. Why? I wanted to construct a building. In that building, I wanted to run the academy. Then this land, what I'm using in the business is called as fixed asset. If I buy land, not with the motive of constructing a building for academy, I have purchase the land only for investment purpose, which means what? I want to buy the land. After 4-5 years, I want to sell it. After 4-5 years, not immediately. After 4-5 years, that is called as investment. If I buy land, I'm a real estate owner. I buy land. I want to sell it immediately. That is my inventory. So for real estate people, if you see big companies like Ananya Garden is there, Mayflower is there, Radiance is there. They have big plot. They'll cut down all the plots, big plot into smaller plots and sell. For them, that plot is inventory. Because they're buying with intention to sell it, cut and sell it. So when your intention is to sell immediately, as early as possible, that is called as inventory. That land becomes your inventory. For real estate companies, such land becomes inventory. If you're buying the land where you want to hold it for more than 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and later I will sell it. So 1 lakh ka land, tomorrow it becomes 3 lakh. So you wanted your money to grow, 1 lakh to grow into 3 lakh rupees. So that is investment. If I buy the land with the intention to use it for my business, that is called as fixed assets. Now clear? Wonderful. Now, under asset, the first item that I dealt with is fixed asset. Second item that we're going to deal with is trade receivable. What is trade receivable? Trade receivable comprises of two amounts. One is debtor and bills receivable. We saw something like this in liabilities. What is it? Trade payable. There are the two items where creditors and bills payable. If you're not answering, it means you've not done revision. We had last class how many days ago? Last Thursday. Saturday we had holiday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, today, Tuesday. After 4 days, this brain has become Gajani brain. We don't remember anything. This is your condition after 4 days. When is your annual exam? Jan end, Feb mid, or March first week is your annual exam. How many months from now? July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb. Almost 7 to 8 months down the line. In 4 days, your condition is this. In 8 months, what will be your condition? So we forget who we are itself. We'll forget there's a subject like accounting existing. This will be your condition. Then what is the point of view? Spending money. You spent money. This money, which you'll never get back in your life. Second, you are spending your time, which again, you will never get back in your life. Correct? This 1.5 hours, what is spending with me? Will you get back in your life? This 1.5 hours, instead of coming here, had you chosen to go out and play cricket and turf or pickleball, how much gala time would have had? But you sacrificed all that and you came here. Why? To learn that you can't learn it elsewhere. And to apply that knowledge in your examination so that you can score well. Not just that, this learning is also going to help you above and beyond your examination, where in real life. Tomorrow when you handle your business, you will not do accounting, but the accountant will do accounting. You have to check his accounting, no boss. If he's doing something wrong while accounting, the consequences of that, who will bear? You have to bear. Business. So-called people who are telling, I'll do fashion designing. You do fashion designing. Tomorrow you start your business. No. That time who will check your accounts? You only have to check. Do NIFT. At the end when you start, you do business only, no? Fashion design. Who wants to do fashion design? Interior design. Interior designing, science people do it? Or commerce people do it? Science. Both. If commerce we don't get anything, we'll get into interior designing. My Appa is doing and I'll also do. Any other course? CLAT. Anybody trying for CLAT law? Nalik lawyer writing, na? You'll open your consultancy firm, no? In that the paisa what you collect will account, no? Then accounting, who will check? You have to check. Anything that you do in future, business, if you're doing business, you can't run away from accounting. So accounting, what you're learning today is not only for 11th, not just for your 12th. It's not for your college. It's for your life. Because this knowledge, what I'm sharing with you, it is my 100% challenge. It is my 100% challenge that this knowledge, what I'm sharing with you, imparting with you, I dare to get this knowledge elsewhere. Challenge. You go to any nook and corner, it's my challenge. People doesn't have time to explain so much things. They don't have time, energy. Who will put effort so much? Nobody puts. Whatever so much drama information I'm giving you, not required. I can take all of this in shortcut manner and leave it. For example, he asked, sir, for land, what to do? This point, I explained, no. For that, what required? Knowledge required. For that, intention to explain was there, required. For that, effort I had to put. So I had to put the effort, that was required. Who has got so much of things to put in the place for you, for a third party, who's got nothing to do with the teacher? But I do it why? Because I feel what a knowledge I have here, I should transform. What will I do with my knowledge, boss? At the end, it'll go with me. But in place of that, if I teach to all my students, you can use it in your life. Tomorrow, you become accounts teacher, you can apply it. So whatever knowledge you get, no, you're going to apply this in your real life. Don't think that you're here sitting and studying for your exam. For 11th and 12th, I'm teaching the knowledge apart from being used for your exams in schools. It is above and beyond that in your practical life. That is the ultimate purpose of education, which we don't understand. By the time you understand, no, it'll become too late. When you become parent, when you have 2-3 kids, the truth is very difficult. One itself is very big today. Where you have to spend 5 lakh rupees for one kid's education per year. Your parents are spending how much, ma'am? Fees you have 2 lakh vandrudha, 2 lakh she is spending now. By the time you become parent, at least 5 to 8 lakh rupees per annum. In 5 to 8 lakh rupees, how many things you can enjoy? How many foreign trips can be happening? How many iPhones you can buy? That time, what will you tell to your kids? I'm not spending for your exam. This knowledge, use it for your career and life. So ultimate purpose of your education is what? Not to pass the exam, not to make your school and colleges more richer. It's what? For what? To get that knowledge which is required to compete in the real life. English language you learned, no? Where did you learn? School only, no? Without that language, can we converse today? So that you're practically using now. This is the live example. That English language you're using practically now. Without this language, we can't even talk. So English, whatever you learned, you're using it in your practical life right now. So like that, whatever topics you're learning, no, invariably, directly or indirectly, you'll be using in your career. Somewhere or the other. If not directly, at least when you're school, so that your children will take the subject. Daddy, mommy, teach me this. That time you have to apply your knowledge there, no? To teach your kids. So any knowledge what you learn is 100% going to be useful in future. So do not learn any knowledge only for namesake. Understand why are we learning and where are we going to apply it in the future. Be realistic. Trade receivable, debtor and bills receivable. What is trade receivable? It is an amount receivable. Receivable means what? I've not received it. I'm yet to receive. When will I receive? In future. Anything that I receive in future is asset. That's why trade receivables comes under asset. It is an amount receivable when upon the sale of goods or rendering of the services in the ordinary course of business. I'm giving service to you. Imagine had I not taken the advance amount. Imagine had I taken the money from you at the end of my service. Jan month, I completed my service to all of you. At that point of time, my money is yet to be received from you now. For me, that money which I'm yet to receive from you is called as trade receivable. Trade receivable. So any money that I have received from my customer, I gave the service, I sold the goods to you, but I'm yet to receive my money. That money is called as trade receivable. Trade receivable is something which is amount receivable in the ordinary course of business. Ordinary course of business. I put money 1 lakh rupees in fixed deposit. 1 lakh rupees I put in fixed deposit. Where? In bank. Bank has to pay me 10,000 rupees. Bank has to pay me 10,000 rupees as interest. I've not received it, yet to receive. Can I classify this as trade receivable? No. Because this 10,000 is not money to be received in my ordinary course of business. Putting money in the bank as fixed deposit is not my ordinary business. I will understand. I did not start this academy that one fine day I'll save money, put in the bank, and I'll receive interest from the bank. My motto is not that. Interest is not my ordinary activity. It is my ancillary activity, side activity. Ancillary means what? Side activity. So when I talk about trade receivable, the money that you're receiving from your core business activity. What is my core business? Coaching. If I'm into business of buying and selling laptop, what is my core business? Buying and selling laptop is my core business. If I'm into business of buying and selling chocolate is my core business. So whatever money that you get from the core business, which is yet to be received from your customer, that is called as trade receivable. Are you able to follow? Anything that I'm yet to receive is not receivable. I mean trade receivable. Trade receivable is very specific. The amount that you are yet to receive from your customer. For what? For the goods that I have sold, for the services that I have rendered in my ordinary course of business, which is my core business activity. From that person, the money that I'm yet to receive, that is called as trade receivable. Okay, not okay? Online people, okay, not okay? Now, all this why I'm discussing because
Okay, sir.
all these terms will be using where, future. When you do practical questions. Do you think at that point of time I can sit and teach one? Will I sit and focus on solving the questions, or will I focus on sitting and explaining this? So I'm trying to explain all this point right now, so that when we do big questions, the moment I say trade receivables, what should strike? Oh, this is the amount that I'm supposed to receive from my customer. Why? Because I sold goods or I gave services in my ordinary course of business. Immediately it should flash. That's why we're making a basic very strong. Trade receivables are of two types. One is debtor, second is bills receivable. What is trade receivable? Debtor plus bills receivable. Any problem? So what is debtor? Debtor is the customer or the buyer from whom the business is yet to receive the money for the goods sold on credit, for the services given on credit. So let's suppose I gave my service to all of you. You did not pay me single money. Full fees is outstanding, means yet to pay. So to me, you are my debtor. To me, you are my customer. My customer is my debtor. So debtor is my customer to whom I gave service, from whom I'm yet to receive my money. Or let's suppose I'm in the business of buying and selling chocolates. I sold chocolates to you. You said, sir, I'll make the payment after 1 month. So who are you to me? Customer in the local language. But in accounting, customer is called as debtor. So I sold goods to you. So for me, you are a debtor. And debtor is that person, that customer from whom I will receive the money in future. For what? For selling goods. Because I sold chocolates to you. Chocolates is my goods. What is goods? Anything that I purchase with intention to sell is called as goods. That also we discussed in the initial classes. That I'll discuss not now. He's asking what is the difference between outstanding and accrued. That will be discussed in the adjustment of final accounts, not now. In other words, debtor is amount received from the customer for the goods sold to him on credit, or the services that I have rendered to him on credit. Then what is bills receivable? That customer is called as debtor. Customer is also called as bills receivable. The difference is what? When I sell the goods to debtor, if I sell the goods to you, if I don't take a promise in writing, from you, for me you are a debtor. In case if I take a promise in writing from you, for me you are bills receivable. So what is the difference between debtor and bills receivable? There's only one difference. From debtor, I don't take any promise in writing. From bills receivable, I take promise in writing. So bills receivable is a written promise by whom? Debtor, customer, the amount of which will be received from him on a specified future date. So a debtor with less evidence. Debtor evidence is there. What? Bill. The goods what I sell, I have bill for it. That is there. But in bills receivable, I have one more document. Apart from invoice, I have something called as bills receivable. So these two document has more stronger evidence. So the probability of me collecting the money from bills receivable is more faster, more higher than a debtor. A debtor may ditch me by not giving the money. I can drag him to the court, but the amount of time that I'll take to recover the money from him will be very long. So if in business, if you have a debtor, you drag him to the court, the process of recovery is a little bit slower because evidence is not that strong. But if you have a bills receivable executed, you have an additional document where he says, I will pay so much money on so much date. If I don't pay money, you drag me to court, etc., etc. You have a strong evidence. So when you drag him to the court will be able to recover money faster from him. That's the only difference. Both are asset. So debtor is also customer. Bills receivable also is customer. Both happen when upon the credit sale. But debtor means what? He does not give any promise in writing. Whereas the bills receivable gives a promise in writing. That's the only difference. Yes, boss.
When we take it to court,
Hmm.
then the money is
No, that is a different story. Now he's telling if the customer is being dragged to the court, how the process be. Once we receive the money, will we receive only the original goods money or will we receive the compensation? Obviously, we receive with the compensation because apart from this, you have been gone through an harassment of recovering the money. You will pay your lawyer fee. You've gone through an harassment, so you will ask some extra amount from him. That is a different matter. That what judgment of the court will come, that's a different thing which I'm not bringing into our picture. That's a very high-fi advanced level. That is something you have to be learning in your professional life. CA, if you do know, that you will get exposed to all of that. Anyways, let's come back. Inventory or stock. 10 mobile phone I purchased. 6 mobile phone I sold. How much is remaining in hand? 4. This 4 mobile phone which is remaining in hand, technically we call it as inventory, not stock. Technically we call it as inventory. In accounts, we technically call that as inventory. Stock means what? A group of anything is stock. So if I have multiple pens in hand, stock it is. Multiple chair, this is stock of chair. Stock is a very broader term. You're representing a group of items. Stock is a very broad term. You say group of something is stock. Inventory is very specific. Inventory means what? Whatever goods are there unsold in the business, we call that as inventory only. So inventory is got a very narrow term. What is inventory? Anything that I bought in the business, but I couldn't sell it. The goods which are lying unsold in the business is called as inventory. So inventory ka classification is what? Inventory is coming under, inventory is inner circle. Stock is outer circle. It's a group. It's a classification. Stock is a classification. Inventory is very particular. So inventory or stock means what? It is an unsold goods. These 4 goods are unsold, lying in the business on a particular date for the trading purpose. So next time, whenever I want, I'll take this phone and sell it. It's for my trading purpose. So inventory is the right term, but in 11th and 12th, we use this word interchangeably also. But I want you to understand that stock and inventory both are different. Stock is a broader term. It's a terminology. Group of anything is stock. If I have group of stick, I say it is stock of sticks. So group of anything is called as stock. Inventory is the right word. But in 11th and 12th, we use this word interchangeably. Okay, not okay. Now, what देखो.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, in 11th and 12th, दोनों inventory stock मतलब क्या? The remaining 4 phones which is available, no? In 11th and 12th, you refer both as inventory and stock only. So in 11th and 12th, inventory and stock means same. In 11th and 12th, inventory and stock means both same. But in real life, inventory has got a different meaning, stock has got a different meaning, is what I'm trying to say. Now, the shares that you invest, I invest in the share market. That share is also called as stock. Now tell me, what will you take as stock? One side they're telling that 4 mobile phones lying unsold in the business is stock. Share also is called as stock. So stock is what? It's a broader term. So group of anything. I have shares of multiple company. That is called as stock. Stock market only we say, no? Stock means what? Stock market means what? It's a market where there are multiple shares of multiple companies. So all of them put together are called as stock. Stock market. So what is stock? This group of multiple things. Is this compilation of multiple things. Now clear? But in 11th and 12th, for you, stock, inventory both are same. They didn't want to complicate your life. Now clear? What? To make your life easier. So inventory and stock is what? Nothing but unsold goods lying in the business on a particular date for trading purpose. Now you can have the inventory or stock for what all items? All of you know what is raw material? What is raw material? I buy this for the purpose of manufacturing. What example I gave you for raw material? I want to bake cake. For that I need ingredients. That ingredient is called as raw materials. So let's take an example. I purchased 1 kg of wheat flour, maida. In local language, maida. Is it a norm or necessity that by the end of the year, all the raw material I should finish? No. I could able to consume only 900 kgs. I purchased 1000 kgs. I was able to bake only cake for 900 kgs. So remaining 100 kgs are not consumed, no boss. So this 100 kg which is not consumed is called as inventory. It's called as stock. It is called as inventory. It is called as stock. Now, from this period to this period, what is this period? 1 April 24. And this ends with 31/3/25. Your financial year begins with April, ends with March. April 24 ends with March 25. During this period, you purchased 1000 kg of maida. Then how much kg of maida is used for manufacturing purpose? 900 used. How much is unused? 100 kg of maida is unused. This 100 kg is unused, lying on which date? 31/3/25. Any item which is lying in the business at the end of the year, any value at the end of the year, any value is called as closing value. So if I have some cash balance, on 33, I say closing cash balance. If I have some bank balance on 31/3, I say closing bank balance. Why closing word? Because 31/3/25 is the last day of the business. That is the closing day of the business. So on the closing day of the business, whatever value is there in the business, that is called as closing value. So if I have 1,000 rupees cash in hand, that is called as closing cash in hand. If I have 10 lakh rupees in bank, I say closing bank balance. If I have 100 kg left as my raw material, I say closing stock, closing inventory, closing inventory. Any problem? Any problem? Yes.
Sir, if we have stocks such as which are expired also,
Ah.
what would it be?
I'll come to this. Can I just explain? Let me explain this part. Then I'll come back to your question. He's asking if the goods are expired, then what will you do? Now, next year is what? Next year begins with?
31.
If the last day was 31/25, next day is what? 1/4/25.
1/4/25.
Can I say this is the opening date of the next year? 1/4/25 is the opening date of next year. 31/25 is the closing date of previous year. This is previous year. This is current year. We are in which year now? Previous or current? We are in current year. 1/4/25 to 31/3/26. How many? We are in which year? Current year. So previous year 31/3/25, whatever data was there, that we call that as closing value, closing inventory, closing cash, closing stock. That becomes opening on the first day of the next year. So whatever is the closing balance of 31/3, that becomes the opening balance of 1/4/25. So if I say this 100 kg of raw material is lying in my business as on 31/3/25, we call this as closing inventory of raw material. Closing inventory of raw material. The same 100 kg on 1/4 becomes opening inventory of raw material, which is 100 kg. 12 a.m. midnight. 12 a.m. midnight is 31/3/25. 12/1 is next day, which is 1/4/25. So 12 a.m. in the midnight. AM or PM? AM only, no? Correct only, sir. I have problem in this. AM only, no? This is big confusion for me. AM only, no? Okay. 12 a.m. midnight. 31/3 will end. Correct? Best 31st December ends. Then New Year, old year ends when? 31st December, 12 a.m. When do you celebrate New Year? 4 o'clock. 12 के बाद, not exact 12. 12 के बाद is 12 1. That is the next New Year. 1/1. Correct, no? So closing date, opening date. So on 12 a.m., what was closing inventory? On 12/1, it became opening inventory. On 12 a.m., what was your closing cash? On 12/1, it became opening cash. So the difference between closing and opening is only 1 second. It's only 1 second. Chankesh, no problem. भाई तो टायर्ड लग रहा है, मजा नहीं आ रहा क्लास में. Any problem? Any problem?
Sir, what
So, I'm just
business आके एक महीना मतलब एक महीने से रिकॉर्ड नहीं करते इन्वेंटरी.
I'll come to that. Now we spoke about raw material. So whatever raw material is there in the business at the end of the year, that is called as closing inventory of raw material. So we can have closing stock of raw material. Do you agree with me? We have something called as WIP. What is WIP? What is WIP? In our example, what I gave. Not the maida is raw material. I'll cry if you say all this answer. The cake is finished goods. அது நடுவுல விட்டியடா. ஆமா அதான் என்னன்னு கேக்குறேன் நானு. In our example, batter, work in progress. That's what WIP. She's like, oh, work in progress. अरे WIP का full form नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ. I am telling in my example, that cake का example what I took. In that, what is WIP? Batter. There are some companies who do cake manufacturing 24 hours. So there could be a possibility, no? At 12 a.m., batter is ready. 12:10 only I'll put into baking process. So 12:10 if I put into baking process, after half an hour, that is let's say 12:40 only I'll have my cake ready. So can I say 12 a.m. to 12:01 a.m. what is there in my hand? Batter is there in my hand. So that batter is called as what? Work in progress. Also called as semi-finished goods. So I can have the stock of semi-finished goods also. I can have the stock of semi-finished goods also. Some case what happens? At 12 a.m. dot, I completed my manufacturing of cake, baking over. 12 a.m. will you go and sell anybody? No. So that will be lying in my hand. So 12 a.m. cake ready. 1 a.m. next day. So 12 a.m. closing stock. 1 a.m. opening stock of what? Finished cake. Cake को क्या बोलते हैं? Finished goods. All these three items belong to which industry? Manufacturing industry. Lovely. To emotion में बह गया भाई. To come back to commerce accounting. All these three belongs to which industry? Manufacturing industry. It belongs to manufacturer. In the same FG, who will buy? Let's suppose a wholesaler buys. He's buying with intention to sell as it is. For him, that cake is traded goods or trading goods. So he can also have a stock, no boss. So if he is purchasing 100 cake from the manufacturer, is it necessary all the 100 cake should be sold? No. 80 sold. How much remaining? 20 remaining. So the 20 cake which is remaining is called as closing stock of traded goods. So how many stock is possible in total? How many types of stock is possible or inventory is possible? Donkey fellow 4. Raw material, WIP, there is semi-finished goods, finished goods, traded goods. In your school, they taught this as 3 years. 1, 2, 3. Which school you studied? How much is this? 4? 4 only? No doubt, no? Which means what you have studied number system, what I have studied, both are same. Okay. Fourth one, traded goods. Buy to manufacture nahi hai. You are a trader, which means you buy the cake with intention to sell as it is. You're not going to alter it. So for you, you purchase 100 cake. You sold 80. How much is unsold? 20. So that 20 is what? Your traded goods. So that is the closing stock of traded goods. What is closing stock? The goods which is unsold in the business. Classic example is our mobile phone. 10 mobile phone I purchased. 6 sold. How much is not sold? 4 is not sold. That is closing stock of traded goods. Coming back. Inventory or stock is of raw material or WIP or FG lying in the business to be used for production or manufacturing purpose for a manufacturing business. For manufacturing business. Raw material, semi-finished goods, finished goods are 3 types of inventory in the manufacturing entity. Whereas traded good is 1 type of inventory in the trading entity or trading enterprise. Trading entity means what? I'm into business of buying and selling as it is. So for me, my inventory is what? Always going to be traded goods. But if I'm a manufacturer, for me, the closing stock or closing inventory or opening inventory could be for 3 types, which is raw material, semi-finished goods, and finished goods. Yes, boss. See, usage closing stock doesn't talk about whether I want to be using that or not. Closing stock is basically a representation that at the end of the year, whatever items you have cash in hand, that is called as closing cash in hand. If you have the bank balance on 31/3, that is called as closing bank balance. If you have inventory, we call that as closing inventory. If you have investment, we call that as closing investment. In short, in the balance sheet, all the assets that we have, we call them, that is balance sheet as on 31/3. When you prepare the balance sheet on 31/3, all the asset value we call as closing balance. You take anything, fixed asset, closing. Why? Because 31/3 is what? Last day of the business. This is the closing day of the business. So all the value of the asset and the liability on the last day of the business, on the closing day of the business is called as closing. Closing asset, closing liability. If that is inventory, we say closing inventory. If that is cash, we say closing cash. And the same thing, when you prepare the balance sheet on next day, 1/4, the closing of the previous year is the opening of the current year. The same value now we will call as opening asset and opening liability. If opening asset is of the stock, we say opening stock. If opening asset is of the cash, we say opening cash. If the opening asset is of the bank, we say opening bank balance. So opening and closing is what? If the value of the asset and the liability on the last day of the business, the closing day of the business, we call it as closing balance. If that is there on the first day of the business, 1 April, that we call as opening balance. Am I clear? So here I taught you 2 concepts. One is what is closing, what is inventory? What is inventory? Inventory means what? Remaining items. Closing means what? That is remaining in the last day of the business. Opening means what? That is remaining in the first day of the business. So 2 concepts are combined here. Any problem?
Sir,
yes.
1 month, monthly, if he wants to see how much is inventory.
He can see it. Now what happens? He's asking, sir, monthly, can I see the inventory? Yes. There are some enterprises who are very lazy. They do accounting in a way that they prepare the balance sheet only once in a year, which is 31/3. Lazy people. Some people, say big companies, they have to prepare the accounts every month. So when I was deployed in the previous company in 2016-17, I was the head of finance of a agri-based private company. So we used to finalize accounts every month. So every month end, I had a balance sheet ka balance, how much asset we had on a particular month end, how much is my cash, how much is my bank balance, how much is my stock. Nobody can stop you to prepare even accounts on daily basis. You can prepare the accounts on daily basis. You can prepare the P&L balance sheet on daily basis. Nobody can stop you. But in accounts in general, we are learning how to prepare the balance sheet and P&L for the entire year, specifically on the end of the year, 31/3. So if you want inventory every month, you can get it, no problem.
So if the business shuts down before 31st.
Yes.
So that when the business shuts down, that time will be the closing.
Correct. So now the question what is asking is, let's say COVID happened, no? A lot of business got closed, wound up during the middle of the year itself. So they have to, let's suppose the business got closed on 15th of July. So from 1st April to 15th of July, they run the business, no? So when they're closing on 15th of July, on this day, they have to submit the final balance sheet to government. So that 15th July now becomes the closing date of the business. So the business is continuously running. Your closing date is 31st March. If your business is closing somewhere in between, that last date becomes your closing date. So all the value of the asset will be called as closing balance on that date. Okay, not okay.
Regarding that,
Okay, sir.
Expiry.
Okay, sir.
if some things like they expire within a year and
So if you mean to ask that if I have still expired product in my go down or warehouse, what to do with that? Correct. Now, sometimes what happens, especially this happens in the food business or medicine. So all these items have expiry date. Let's suppose in the go down you have some stock which is expired, which means you can't sell it. Though it will be inventory at that day, once it touches the expiry date, that inventory is no longer inventory. You have to write off that as loss because you can't sell it. So if let's say in your go down, you have stock worth 10 lakh. In the 10 lakh worth of stock, 2 lakh worth of stock is expired. The day it is expiring, you have to remove that from your stock and record as a loss in your P&L. About this, we'll be discussing in the upcoming sessions.
should we minus from that or we should leave the 10 lakhs?
No, from 10 lakh, if 2 lakh is expired, we'll minus no. So balance 8 lakh stock is what? Proper stock with no expiry.
So we should
Minus it. Yes. So that how accounting is done. That is what we'll discuss in upcoming chapters. The next point I want to discuss with you is what is cash. If they say cash or if they use the word cash in hand in the questions, what does it mean? Amount of money that is lying in the business on a particular date is called as cash in hand. So imagine today is what, 17th June. You go to your shop, you go to your office, open the cash box, you count the cash, you count the coins, all of them put together is called as cash in hand. So what is cash in hand? That is the physical money that is there with you. The physical money which is there with you on a particular date. You can count cash every day. So every day you'll have one cash balance. Yesterday's cash balance and today's cash balance will be different. Why? Because in between that period, Sankesh, what would happen? You'd have paid money or received money. So yesterday's balance and today's balance will be different. So what is cash in hand? The physical cash that I possess on a particular date when I'm counting, that is called as cash in hand. In simple words, cash in hand means the actual physical cash, which is comprising of notes and coins that a business has right now with it, usually kept in the cash box or locker, is called as cash in hand. Asset or liability? Asset. Why? Because you own it. Cash, money means power. When I talk about cash, I'll give you 10 crore rupees. Do you feel happy or sad? Happy face means asset. You have to pay me 25,000 fees. Happy or sad? You will say very sad. That is what? Liability. You will say, sir, this money what I have to pay, is it not your expense? Expense only. The expense which are yet to pay is liability. Account has got two aspects. So 25,000 fees, what you're paying is your expense only. If you've paid, okay. If you've not paid, the not paid part is called as liability. Am I clear? Bank or cash in bank. Bank means what? Are you trying to say that bank I own it? HDFC account I own it? Axis Bank I own it? No. In that bank, I'll have an account which is opened by that bank. That account is what I own it. In that account, I have my money. That money I own it. So what is cash at bank? Amount of money that is owned by the business. Amount of money that is owned by the business on a particular date, which is lying with the bank. I opened a savings bank account. Can I open a bank account free of cost? No. You can open it free of cost, but they'll tell you, please deposit minimum 10,000 rupees if you want to open an account with me. So you go to Axis Bank. in the bank, please open one account for me. Which account? Savings bank account. He will open it free of cost, no charges. But he will tell that you have to deposit minimum 10,000 rupees. That is not their money. It's your money. But they are telling that you have to keep minimum 10,000 balance in my bank account. That is your money only. That is your money only. That minimum you have to keep so much. So any money, any of our money, which is there in the bank, which is with the bank, is called as cash at bank. That is our bank balance. In movie, you would have heard, no, my bank balance is so much crores. What does it mean? That your money is there under whose control? Position. Banker's position. You gave it voluntarily to bank. You gave it voluntarily to bank. In simple words, cash at bank means the amount of money deposited in the bank. The amount of money deposited in the bank by the business. Your money you deposited in the bank, which can be used when needed. And that money, you can use it whenever you want it. No restriction. Any money, my money, which I've deposited in the bank, which I can use it whenever I want without any restriction, that is called as cash at bank. That is called as bank balance. Okay. Okay, not okay. This money you can either withdraw by check, or using the debit card, you can withdraw from ATM, or you can do online transfer, GPay, NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, etc., etc. It is business money kept safely in the bank's custody under bank account, under an account called as bank account, and that bank account is under your name. It's in your name. Any problem? Easy to understand. Now the problem everywhere is what you know. Without understanding this, we directly start doing accounts. That's what happened in school also. All this was explained in depth. Tell me honestly. No, because this requires so much of efforts to be done. Time, but nobody's got time today. Everybody wants to complete portion faster. The real purpose of knowledge, classes, subject, everybody forgot. Why are you paying lakhs of fees also? Everybody forgot. The person who is paying also forgot. The person who is receiving also forgot. Why I'm receiving this money? Why I'm paying this money for? Ultimate goal is what? Pay money, complete one standard. Pay money, complete one standard. Pay money, get their 12th ka certificate. Pay money, get college BCom degree certificate. So money what you're paying is not for knowledge. You're paying for getting the certificate. Because this certificate is only going to give you money in future. No, wrong. You complete BCom degree. You complete CA degree. You get into any company. You get a job. If you don't exhibit your knowledge, if you don't exhibit your skill, in 1 month you'll be kicked out of the company. Forget them. I'll tell you. Tomorrow you start your own company startup. You start up your own company. I'm coming as a CA to you. I want to work in your company as employee. If I don't help you with my knowledge and skill, will you keep me for 1 month also? Because you have to pay me 30 lakh rupees a year. Will you pay me chumma? What will you expect in return? That Pratik sir has to do work for the company. Your stress and burden I should take over with my knowledge and skill. I should reduce your burden. So this knowledge came from where? The schooling, the professional courses that we pursue. The experience and skill came from where? Again, the professional courses that we pursue and the internship what we did. So if all of this is not done properly, what is the point in spending lakhs of money in education? Boss, think about it. Just because your parents are spending money, you can't be like you will do time pass in school and come. If it's your hard-earned money, try to earn money and see how much hard it is. If it is that easy, everybody will be Ambani today, no? Everybody should have a Rolls-Royce car, no? But people don't have it, which means earning is not easy. So that thing which is not coming so easily, how can you spend it so lavishly and so fastly without getting something in return? You spend money also, no problem. But get something in return, no boss. 2 lakh rupees every year spending, what are you getting in return? Nothing. Only pass or fail. For that 2 lakh rupees you're spending. To get knowledge. So what are you supposed to do? Grab the knowledge. You should be greedy to grab the knowledge. And this greediness will be accomplished when you know. In class, attentively you have to listen each and every point. Go home multiple times, revise. Then the knowledge will stay in your mind. You chumma say that, okay, I'll come sit in the class, I'll listen, I'll not go home and revise. Here also you're doing the same thing. You're paying the money, but not getting any benefit. You're benefiting me, but you're not benefiting your own self. So which person on the planet will pay money and not want to benefit? Students. All students are like that only. They want to pay money everywhere, but they don't want to benefit. And this mentality will change when you become parents. Investment. Surplus money. Look at the language what I'm starting. Surplus money that is lying in the business on a particular date, and I don't know what to do with that money. So what do? I put into something. Why? For what? With the expectation to generate more money out of it. I get tuition free from you. After all expenditure, I have some money left. This money, what to do? I don't know. So what do I say? I'll invest it somewhere. So I work hard to get more money. And this money, which is there surplus in the business, I deploy that also into some work. So that money is earning more money. So the process of earning money from money is called as investment. Surplus money that is lying in the business on a particular date, which the enterprise decides to put into something by to expect or expecting a or generating of more money or income from that money is called as investment. Investment, where do you do? Where do you do the investment? So I might invest money in fixed deposit, term deposit, mutual funds, shares, debentures, gold, land. All these are what? Investment. Investment. Leave this. I'm done with what is the meaning of asset. Yes, boss.
What's the debenture?
Debenture is something we'll be discussing in 12th standard. We have a separate topic called as issue of debentures.
What if someone to make an investment he takes loans?
Take it. I'm not stopping you.
So no,
Ah.
is it different?
You're telling that I want to do investment. For that purpose, I'm taking loan. I will never recommend. Investment, always I said what? It is surplus money is the money to be invested. There are so many people during COVID period got exposed to something called a stock market. Before that, much people did not know about stock market. Crazy investments made in stock market post COVID. Why? Because everybody like, now we can't work, COVID, everything is closed. So where is the opportunity of earning money? Stock market. And during that period, COVID, stock market crashed. After that, it went up. People made money there. So people thought it is so easy to make money in stock market. Left, right, center, they started investing in stock market, thinking that today if I put money, it will go up. And people don't know stock market is what? Up, down, up, down, up, down. So people who did not buy the stock at the right price, who purchased at the high price, which went down, when it went down, people faced loss. And so many people who initially made profit, thinking that so easy it is to make money in the stock market, they took loan from the bank to invest in the stock market. Later, when the bubble burst, when again a crash came in, 10 lakh investment became 1 lakh. 10 lakh investment became 3 lakh. You had a fear that the 3 lakh also become zero. You sold the investment at 3 lakh, which means you booked a loss of 7 lakh rupees. 10 lakh you invested, it came down to 3 lakh. You started panicking. If I don't sell this, it will become zero. Like that, you thought you sold the investment at 3 lakh rupees. You purchased at 10, sold at 3. How much loss? 7 lakh loss. Is it the right idea? And now, when you take it on loan, you have a pressure to pay interest also. If it is my own money, I'll not bother. Even if I have 7 lakh loss, I'll leave it like that. One fine day it will increase, no? One fine day it will increase. There were some stocks which I invested where I had almost a loss of almost 3 to 4 lakh rupees. Later, but it was my own money. I never panicked. I knew how the stock market game works. Gradually, this 3 lakh loss converted into 3 lakh profit. So I didn't take any pressure. Why? It is my money, surplus money. But when it is bank loan ka money, imagine this money was not my money. Banker ka money, I'll have pressure because I have to repay him. He will ask interest. So where I'm not earning anything, I have to pay interest. You'll be under pressure. Never take a loan for investment. At least for share market, definitely no. Answer your query? Yes, boss.
Example, if we buy gold for investment, it's not possible, but if the gold prices fall down, then is it called investment?
Yes. So anything. See, I invested money in gold, share market. Gold market is at peak now. I purchased it. After 3 days, the gold value reduced. Still, it is investment only. Now, since he's asking, I'm telling you, not required, but I'm just telling you. Invested 10 lakh in gold. After 5 days, it became 9 lakh 50,000. How much did I invest? 10 lakh. It became 950. How much is the loss? 50,000 is a loss. I call this loss as unrealized loss. Unrealized, because I've not sold, no. Only if I sell it, this loss is my booked loss, registered loss. I didn't sell it. Today, from 10, it became 950. Tomorrow, from 950, it will become 11 lakh. 950 to 11 lakh. So how much is my profit now? 1.5 lakh. Still, this I'll call as profit. Which profit? Unrealized profit. When does it become realized? Only when I sell it. So still, whether it is at this stage or this stage, it is still an investment only. Investment means what? Up and down. Sometime up, sometime down. So still it is investment only. All this we'll be discussing in 12th anyways. Unrealized, realized, all this is there. Anything else? So with this session, I'm done. What is? Assets and all the terms, important terms required to start the topic. Still there are a few more terms left. What is invoice? What is voucher? What is account? What is debit? What is credit? Now the theory what we say now is of three types. There is some theory which we have to do it first, then only practical questions, so that practical questions can make sense. Share here. Then comes certain theory which you have to do practically along with sums. Then comes some theory which we should be doing at the end. So basic accounting terms were that theory part which is essential to start the practical topic. But there are some theories which I'll do along with practical topics, such as what is debit, what is credit, what is account, what is accrual concept, what is prudence principle, matching principle. The few theory I'll be doing along with the practical questions. Then comes the few theory which I'll be doing at the end. For example, in chapter 1, I didn't discuss anything yet. One part of it I'll be discussing in the next class. What is accounting process? I'll be discussing in the next class. Apart from that, in chapter 1, there's so many things I'll not be doing now. Why? Because even if I teach you now, nothing will go into your head. Because you don't know the entire accounting system. I will read the English language. You'll be able to understand what English language is saying, but you'll not be able to feel for it. If I teach you now, what is prudence concept? What is conservatism principle? English mate is there. If I tell you something will go, but you'll not get the emotional feeling of it. So when we do the practical questions, then when we come back and read the theory, I can give you examples. See, in that place we did apply prudence concept. That place we applied matching principle. I'll be able to give you a live connectivity example. That time the theory will make more sense. If I tell you now who are the users of financial statement, you may not be able to digest who they are because you never felt them. If I tell owner is a user, creditor is a user, debtor is a user, but why are they called as user? As of now, you will not understand. So whatever I say, you'll obey and by heart, but you'll not feel for it. So all I'm trying to make you understand is that there are so many theory which we are yet to do. I've done some portion of theory now. Too much of theory makes the class boring also. So I'm doing some theory now, some theory simultaneously with practical questions and some theory at the end. And this is a foolproof tested manner of completing the syllabus where I've got effective results with proper understanding. So I'm taking the class in the same order, which is easily understandable by all students. I don't take any chapters for the heck of taking. Just because somebody is giving some order, with that we don't do it. We take in a proper order which makes sense. One after the other, what I should do. For example, in the school, they have started accounting equation. This is a topic not to be done now. Somewhere midway of accounts or end, you'll actually feel this topic more nicer to learn rather than now. Now, what will you do? You'll by heart. If this transaction comes, add here, minus here. But why to add, why to minus? That emotional feeling is there now that you will not get. So you want to learn the subject, learn it emotionally. You feel for it. Once you feel for it, your learning journey becomes so smooth. Things will automatically flow inside. You will not even know the pain that I put an injection to you. That is the charm of learning accounts with the proper mechanism. Now clear? So tomorrow I'll spend, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we'll spend one class to understand what is accounting process. And then I'll be starting the next topic called as chapter 6, rules of debit and credit. Which means from first chapter, I'm directly jumping to 6th. 2 we have done now. Basic accounting terms is over. Almost 80% over, 20% pending, which will be done simultaneously with the chapters. Chapter 3, 4, 5 is pending. In that few I'll be doing along with the practical questions, few at the end. So next topic will be accounting process, chapter 1. Then directly chapter 6, rules of debit credit. Be prepared. I have a lot of questions to ask all of you. Because you've done this in school, you are a pro now. A lot of questions will be thrown at you. So guys, let's wind up. That's all from my end. Online people, do you have any queries? All comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Pratuk,
Yes, sir.
Ananya, Subish,
Yes,
Kritika,
sir.
Pulkit, Mritika, Prakriti, Srinidhi. All good?
Yes, sir.
You guys are able
Yes,
to
sir.
concentrate well?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You guys are able to understand well?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. If you have any concerns, immediately bring it to my notice. If any doubts, immediately bring it to my notice.
Yes, sir.
Hey, hello. Where are you all
Yes,
going?
sir.
Sit. I'm not done.
Okay.
Where? I didn't finish. No. To whom should I say bye now? If you all of you go there, I have to say bye to chairs only. Doubts, if any. Totally shame free. Ask. In my dictionary, there's nothing called as silly doubts, pulley doubts. If anybody comes to me asking, sir, I have a silly doubt, I have a small doubt, first I'll scold you. Then only I'll. Why? Doubt is doubt. What is silly, pulley? Huh? Small, big. Doubt is doubt. If I take a small, what do you call it, pin, prick you, you will bleed. If I take a sword, still you'll bleed. Pain is there still, no? So what is a small pain, big pain? Pain is a pain. Doubt means be free to come and ask whenever you want to ask. All of you in between, how many of you asked doubts? I never said no. No, I'm telling how many of you all asked the doubts? No. I always encourage the doubts. I never said no. So always be open. Other people so far who didn't open their mouth. You see other people who asked the doubts, but did I ever scold them? No. So in my class, there's nothing called as silly doubts or small doubts. Second problem. This is the biggest problem that people face. That's why I'm addressing this problem. Second problem people face is they have doubt, but they don't have the guts to ask. Why? Because they think that what will my friend think about me? That this question I'm asking, what will they think about me? What they are thinking about you is none of your business. If what they are thinking, that also you are thinking, then what will they think? Let them think what they want to think. No? God has given them the brain. They will think. God has given them the mouth. They will speak. You can't be the remote control for everybody. No? You control your life. You don't control other people thinking and other people tongue. Okay? So if you have doubt, speak up. Today, if you're able to speak up in front of 30 people, tomorrow, when given opportunity, you can speak in front of 3,000 people. This is a chance to accumulate your confidence. Develop your confidence. You're in the learning phase. Develop the confidence. I'll be telling about my history in the upcoming sessions. You'll understand from person who was so introvert, who used to hardly talk. I've come to this extent. I can talk to anybody and I can go on for hours together. So that transition is by compulsion to some extent and by choice to maximum larger extent. Okay. So in my class, two things are null and void. One is small doubt, silly doubts. Second, restricting to ask the doubts just because somebody else is thinking something about you. So these two things are null and void in my class, which means you should not think about it. Later, if I come to know from your parents or from you later, that this is what is the reason why you have not asked the doubts in class, you'll be royally screwed by me. Okay, not okay? Okay, not okay? Wonderful. Online people, clear or not clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
You guys have not fulfilled my wish. What is that? What is that? Thank God you didn't say Jodi. Lama order in the Jodi. Yes, sir, Jodi. Correct, no? Work in progress. Next chapter when I start, which is next class, you better guys get it. Okay? It's a big responsibility. It's not easy. Huh? Your marketing job is started now. So we have to see how much good you are in marketing. Like how I'm doing marketing to all of you know. As a businessman, you have to be pro in everything, boss. Just because I'm an accounts teacher, I can't be away from other things. It's a strategy, it's a tactics. So your commerce ka journey, entrepreneurship journey begins now. So let's see how many of you have got good negotiation skills and convincing ability. The more negotiation power, more convincing ability you have, the better you become at business. Not just business, even if you're in job, if you want to get the top position, this skill is required. This is a skill, must have skill. So your journey begins from now. So on that positive note, let's sum up today's session, people. That's all from my side. I'll see all of you on Thursday, 7 p.m. sharp. Until then, bye-bye. See you. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.